the heck? Hey guys, how's it going? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Today's gonna be a really, really fun day. What we're gonna do is we're gonna jump inside of Unity. We're gonna be working on our fun little dog game today. And we're gonna actually reference, you guessed it, Wind Waker, when it comes to the particle systems that we want to use for dying enemies. We're also going to change a couple things with the enemies as well. Lots of cool stuff today. So let's jump inside of Unity and let's get started. By the way, guys, feel free to download my free 2D game kit below. It's totally free. It's my treat to you. I used this exact 2D game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and then I got to play it in front of his subscribers, which was really awesome. So download that. Use it however you want. It's my treat to you. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, stop wasting my time. Let's go ahead and get started here. By the way, let's say hello to Chris Pelezos in the chat. Chris, how you doing, buddy? Chris is a good friend of mine, and he is a talented musician. He's done the music for Father, actually. All right, so we've got a beautiful angle of our little dog right now. Let's go ahead and hit play here so we can get an idea of what we've made last week. Last week was an insanely fun week, but it was really stressful because has anybody ever, have you guys ever felt when you're making your indie game, have you ever felt like so obsessed that it's a problem? That's how I feel working on this game. It's a problem for sure. All right, let's hit play here.
Choose your good boy.
All right, so you can choose your boy. Let's give him Chris. That's his name. And let's press enter.
Good choice.
All right, so what we worked on last week was the enemies. You can see them crawling around over there, okay? There's definitely some camera issues we've got to work on, but overall the game's looking pretty great. Feeling awesome about it. So here we go. This is what we've made. All right, so right there, you guys probably noticed there was an issue. And so I have a team member, Mr. Gordon Arbor. Gordon is an intern at the studio, so I'm going to add something to Gordon's list. Sometimes he's going to be working on fine-tuning a lot of these small idiosyncrasies. So the way that my team works is we work together, whether I'm live or not. We work together on Discord, and we also have a Google document where we just tell each other, really I tell everybody what to do. I write down on their list of the things that they need to be working on. So today, what I'd like, or at least this week, sometimes the dog won't bounce on the enemy heads. You might want to use a raycast that predicts if the enemy will be hit. There we go. Okay, so that's the enemy type. So what we need to do here, guys, is we need to make sure that the explosion effect when the enemy dies, right there, down there, that needs to be a dark explosion with like smoke coming out, okay? That's the goal. All right, so let's go ahead and do something really quick here. I know you can't see the screen. Sorry. When the enemy's body explodes and pops and rolls onto the ground and then it needs to be a puff of green or a black smoke, okay? So let's go ahead and watch the Wind Waker. So I'm gonna go to YouTube, and we're just gonna watch Wind Waker together. We're gonna see how Wind Waker handles their particle effects, okay? Wind Waker HD, no commentary. All right, let's go ahead and watch this video here, okay? Boom, 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 boom. All right, so we're just gonna click around until we find him fighting, okay? Here we go. This is the world's greatest game. These explosions might help as well. Ooh. okay. So it's like a reddish. Yeah. I think I got it. Let's take a screenshot here of some of these. Ooh, I love those particles. So I think I got it. What we need to do is we need to type in Wind Waker particles on Google Images, and we're going to find out what the particles look like. We're going to mimic them, because why not? Oh, what a great game. I'm trying to find them attacking. There we go. Okay. Is it really that hard? Just show me something here. There he is. Okay, so that smash effect we definitely want. Okay, so we're going to do that first. So if I can just go backwards in time, can I double click? Nope. Ugh, on mobile, you can go backwards. Okay, there it was. Oh, it's right there. I need to take a screenshot. There it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. We're going to definitely use that. Okay. So this is the first one. It's just the hit effect. All right. It's basically a sphere, I believe, that emits with these sharp lines coming out. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up Photoshop, guys. Open up Photoshop. And then inside of Photoshop, what we're going to do is create a new document. It's going to be 1920 by 1920. Or really we could do 1080 by 1080. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to be a square. I like it to be as HD as possible because you never really know when it's going to be like standard for all games to be 4K or even bigger. You just never really know. All right. So I'm going to open up Photoshop here and go ahead and make our first little effect here. Okay. All right. So we're in Photoshop here. We're going to do 1080 by 1080. By the way, guys, if you haven't downloaded my free 2D game kit below, be sure to check that out. It's my treat to you. You can use this game kit however you want. You can use it just like I did to make a game, I don't know, for PewDiePie in 14 days. That's what I did with the kit. I made a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and then I got to play it with him on his channel. So it's a really great game kit. Saves a ton of time, so be sure to check it out. Okay, so we've got this screenshot here. I'm going to paste it into Photoshop. We can take a look. All right, so basically what I want to do first is this sphere here, okay? So it's like a vibrant red. We could do a vibrant orange maybe. But I think it does need to have at least gray on the edges. So let me show you, okay? We're going to have a sphere. And then we're going to do an inner shadow, okay? And the inner shadow is going to be, let's just do a gray, okay? Because the reason why is if you do a gray, you could change the gray in Unity to an actual color. We're going to increase the choke here. There we go. And then I'm going to convert this whole thing to a smart object, and then I'm just going to blur it. There we go. So that's going to be our, let's trim it up as well if we can. Actually, I'm not going to trim it up just yet because Photoshop has been freezing on me recently whenever I try and trim something. So let's go ahead and save this out in our project, okay? So it's in Windows, Atmos Games, Pug R3, Assets, Art, Textures. Oh, good, we've got all of our particles in here. So we're going to call this Enemy Hurt Particle. It could be just Hurt Particle. And this is going to be called something like Sphere. Just blurry, glowing sphere. Okay? This is the first one we're going to do. Now, let's go to our scene here. So in this case, it's called Art Test 2. We're going to be doing spring cleaning here in just a bit, probably in a couple days, where we just go through the project and really clean it up. All right? Don't underestimate the value of really, really great particles. It's worth your time. It's absolutely worth your time. So let's go to our player here, and you can see we have a bunch of particles. We've invested a lot of time in creating some really beautiful particles here, guys. So I'm actually going to go to the round circle particles. I'm going to paste that just right here, and we're going to create that particle system. Then we're going to save it as a prefab, and then we can instantiate that prefab anytime we hit an enemy. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in sphere. There it is, hurt particle blurry sphere. Okay, I'm going to drag that on top of it just like this, and it's going to automatically create the material. Okay, so let's make sure we set the transparency properly in the inspector. Hit apply, good. And then this here is not a blend rendering mode of opaque. It's actually going to go to sprites, or I'm sorry, particles. Nope, we're in there. Good, good, good. So this is particles, standard unlit. I think that's fine actually. Let's see here. If we can go to fade. There we go. All right, so there's our particle emitter. The theory is we could change the color. Good. So it looks like what we actually need to do. This is probably unfortunate. I wasn't thinking properly. What we need to do is we need to actually change out. We need to go into the actual inner shadow and just make it the right color. Okay, so we're not going to do any custom colors. I think pink is actually a really good color, so we're going to do that. So now we've got a very similar looking sphere, just like in the Wind Waker. See that? It's got a little bit of yellow to it as well. I'm not going to worry about that though. I think that's just totally fine right here. Okay, so there's our burst. My theory is that in Wind Waker, it's not. It goes like this. Instead of boom, it goes boom, boom. It like slows. So let's see if that's actually true. Ooh, that's a great screenshot. I'm going to screen that really quick because we're going to do something like this as well. I love that. So copy that. We're going to paste that in just to save it. Okay. And by the way, guys, if that 2D game kit isn't something you're interested, you can also just check below to see my free 3D course. And that's on how you can make a 3D game really fast with no knowledge of Unity, no knowledge of 3D modeling, nothing, no knowledge of code. Totally free course. Click below, enroll. You're going to be immediately taken to the course. And you can take it whenever you want. Go at your own pace. You'll learn a lot. Okay, let's take a look here. There it is. Okay, let's watch. Here we go. Okay, it's pretty fast. It's pretty fast. Awesome. Okay. So I'm not too worried about it actually, but I do want it to go pretty big here. So like 10. There we go. Maybe 20. Got to zoom out though to see it. There we go. And then 15. There we go. Start size is good. Then what we're going to do is size of a lifetime. It's going to go pretty high. There we go. All right. So we have this round circle particles. The next thing we want to do is have a sub-emitter, which emits those sort of sparks, right? So let's see if we can get a good screenshot of those sparks. And we'll be tweaking all of this. I want to get a good baseline though. You guys may notice that in my games, I have a bunch of other stuff from other games. I'll throw in music. Sometimes I'll even throw sound effects in the game at the baseline because I want to get a good idea of what this game could be with the right music and sounds, especially from games that inspire me. And then what I'll do is I'll go in and change them retroactively to be more, I don't know, my style, but get a good baseline of game feel. Ugh. Man, gotta be careful here. There we go. Ooh, very cool. Oh, I gotta get screenshot. Come on. Ooh, I love those orbs. We got some more enemies. This is like the perfect place to be. Here we go. I love these particles. Ugh. Okay. Good. So I think a generic spark is totally fine. I don't think I want to get too specific here. So there's that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this spark effect, okay? It's really nothing too crazy. Could probably get away with something like this. Of course, we don't want to get away with anything, do we? We want it to be perfect. But overall, I think that's great. I'm actually going to duplicate it, scale it up, and then do a color overlay of that same pink color. Let's go find the right pink color here. I'm going to double click, enter the inner shadow here, and find the right color. And do the same thing for these sparks. Color overlay. Paste that color. There we go. Alrighty. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to fill in the background with I'm going to do a gray color here. And we're going to start working with this. I'm actually going to sort of off-center it a little bit. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do, so we're just going to sort of play with this a little bit here. We're going to add a blur. Do we use a blur? Let's double check. Do we want it to be blurry? Let's see here. Okay, there's blur and then there's also not a blur. So here's what we're going to do. There we go. So there's our blur, right? Just like that. But then we're going to draw another one. And what this one's going to do is just sort of go outside of the edges here. There we go. Okay. Paste in that color. There we go. So I think what I want to do is actually this right here. I'm actually going to cut it a little bit here. There we go. That feels a lot better. Awesome. Okay. And then what you do, merge them together, and we're just going to sort of fade out some of the edges. Just a little bit. Okay. Now, we're going to save this out and see how it works with it being off center, but we're going to call it Hurt Particle, and we're going to call it Glowing Lightning Bolt. Okay. And I think we probably need just a few of these and then a lot of sparks. So we're going to probably have 3 different particles going on. So there's that. Let's paste it and then create a child. I'm going to go to my lightning, do the same thing here, drag it on in. There we go. And its burst is going to be something like 30. That's good. This right here, we're going to make it a burst of something like 5. Okay. Let's make that 5. 1. Hold on one sec here. Okay. Now let's go to our lightning. We want it to be set to fade. Good. Honestly, I think that should do just fine. Okay, they're there. You can barely see them. These round circles, we're going to do something like 2. Okay. There we go. And then the round circles, yeah, let's do 25. And then random rotation. So we're going to do negative 360. Actually, we could just do 0 to 360. There they go. Cool. The size is going to be pretty random. I think the size might be a little too big, but I'm not so sure. Let's decrease the color here of those spheres. Okay. And the particles here, we're going to go random between 15 and 25. Can we do negative 25? I want to flip them. What's flip rotation mean? Cause some particles to spin in the opposite direction. No. Okay. We'll go to color over lifetime. We're going to make it pretty opaque the entire time. There we go. The size of a lifetime won't be so dramatic. It'll start pretty big. There we go. Awesome. but I want it to be a lot more random, okay? So I think what I want to do here is I want to take all of these and center it up, okay? So that's basically going to be one tall lightning bolt, and we'll squash it. I'm going to rasterize it and squash it. Okay. Save it out. Go back to Unity here. There we go. What did I tell you? Okay. I think they need to go out pretty fast here and increase in size. There we go. And I'm having trouble with this, the size of this here. I think it needs to be like, there we go. There we go. Okay. So we're going to call this enemy or hit particles. It should probably be called enemy strike particles. Okay. So if I set it to a 0, you can see this one is still going. So we're going to set that to 0. We need to make sure that the sub-emitters are properly set up. So I'm going to set this one to the sub-emitter. So now when we hit play on this, let's do a count of 5. Maybe we should just do 2. We should also be seeing something like this. There we go. So let's hit stop here and hit play. Good. And let's not have it loop. I feel like the lightning bolt particles, let's rename this by the way. I feel like they shouldn't be scaling really at all, honestly. Maybe they should. Okay, I think that's good enough. So let's go ahead and save this out in a particles folder. Let's see here. Let's type in particles. See where our particles are stored. There we go, right there. All right. So now what we need to do is go to our enemy script here. And you can see here we have some break particles. Currently it's set up to particles would. That's the def. So on break, it's going to play these particles here. So I don't know. Yeah. I got it. So we need to have two separate particle systems, okay? So we've got those break particles, and that's going to occur after that final hit, right? So we're not going to be working with that yet. So let's create a new particle system. And this is just going to be one that occurs when you hit. Okay, there we go. Hit particles. And I'm just going to put a comment next to it. Remember, guys, I love my comments to be questions. I think that's really helpful. What particles should be instantiated on a single hit? Okay. And now all we got to do is go to our particle system, or go to when we hit an object. So it's right here, hurt me. So if the health is smaller than or equal to 0, then it's going to break, right, and play those break particles. But if not, then we're just going to do this. If hit particles exists, then hit particles dot emit, and we'll do something like 5. Okay? All right, great. Now let's go to our enemy. And we're going to go into the enemy, and we're going to go to the break particles here. Or hit particles. Let's drag in that new particle system we created. Didn't I just create you? Where are you? Enemy strike. Yep. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right one here. Okay. Enemy strike. There it is. Pull that in. And the enemy strike particles should have a destroy me script. So we're going to enter into those and go to type in destroy me and just say destroy after 2 seconds. Okay. This script is really simplistic, guys. All it does is starts a destroy function and it tells it how long to wait and then it will destroy it. So that ensures that any particles we're creating are immediately deleted, pretty much 2-3 seconds after they're instantiated. All right, guys, here we go. Okay, we got a null reference exception. Something's going on here. Let's take a look. Where is my breakable script? There it is. So if hit particles exists, then do it, right? So we're not getting it for some reason. The hit particles are not emitting. Oh, that's because they don't exist. So we need to instantiate them. So let's do that. That's what I'm missing here. If hit particles exist, then instantiate the hit particles. I understand that instantiating things slows things down. I understand that. So we may do particle pulling or put this particle on as a child of the enemy. We may do that. For now, though, I'm just going to instantiate them. And if we have a problem with the during the QA phase, then we'll look into it. Okay. Asterisk, you asked me what music software I use. Well, I didn't write any of this music, just for clarity. But I do use Logic Pro. I use Logic Pro, and I also use a MIDI controller with weighted keys. If hit particles, then instantiate hit particles at this transform position with this with a quaternion identity rotation, which is basically 0, and then we're going to do a null parent. Okay? Also, we need to make sure this is a null parent as well for the break particles. All right, guys, let's take a look. This should do it. And by the way, if you haven't downloaded that free 2D game kit below, be sure to check that out. It's my treat to you. You can use it however you want. You can use it to make a million dollar game. I don't care. It's really up to you. Okay, let's try this out. There it is. Okay, so I think it could probably be a little bit bigger and more aggressive. That feels great. I think it could last longer as well. That's what she said. So let's see here. Let's go to our lightning, or what's it called? Strike. We're close, guys. We're really, really close. The first thing to do is hit play. There we go. Boom. And let's set it to loop. Because I want to see it. There it is. So let's make it a little bit longer. Something like 0.6. 0.6. All right, and that scaling, the size of a lifetime is too fast. Wish the renderer didn't have a max scale. Max particle size. Let's set it to like 4. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now we don't need it to scale like so big. We're having issues with the max particle size. Almost there. There we go. And I think we could probably do random between 2 curves. Yeah. Almost there, guys. All right. Now let's go ahead and set this to like something like 10. There we go. Wish you could do a random. Yeah, you could do random lifetime. Good. Okay, so we're going to go from 0.6 to 0.9. We're getting there. Color over lifetime. It's a little too much for me. Probably speed it up, honestly. 0.4 to 0.7. Awesome. Lightning bolt particles. A little bit longer. 0.3. And it could be faster. Okay. All right, guys, let's try it out. Turn off looping. And it should just play once. Okay. Ready? Let's try it out. Okay. We need it to be at the position of the dog. Okay. Not the position of the enemies. This is because, well, you really want it to be instantiating those particles where the player is, where that hit point is. Because right now it's like spawning right below the enemy and it looks dumb. Almost there. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so we're so close. I feel like those particles, those lightning bolt particles, they just sort of sit there. They don't really do anything. So I kind of feel like what we did with that, the size is a little too aggressive. We slowed it down too much. We could try 0.1. Let's see here. Close, man. 0.15. Okay. The other problem I saw was, I'm not sure what the other problem I saw was. Let's double check. Judd, I love you too. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing very well today. I'm having a great time. That feels pretty good. I think it could last a little bit longer. So we'll set that to 0.2. And then this one, yeah, I think that's good. We could probably make the lightning bolts a little bit bigger too. So we'll do a start size of, well, you want to know the truth? It's this max size that's a problem. We're going to set it to 1. There we go. And then the next thing I want to do is I want it to actually occur regardless of if we're dying or not. So it's just always going to occur. Okay? Always, always, always going to occur. And I would argue it should happen here as well. So it should happen with all of this. The freeze frame effect, set temp invincible. Okay, so just all of this stuff should happen all the time. It's only when the health is lower than 0 that it does the break. And that'll have the break animation of the body flying and then the break sound. But that's about it, guys. All right, I'm going to hit play one more time here. Let's take a look. Let's see how everything feels. Nice. That's it. Let me test it one more time. Feels pretty good. It's a little bit not perfect. I'm not sure what it is. It's nothing to do with the particles. I think it has to do with you can't really see the animation that's occurring. Okay, so let me show you. If we go to enemy hurt, this bounce animation, I want it to be a lot more aggressive. So we're going to squash down significantly. and maybe even consider going wide. Boom. And then up to 1. See that? Boom. Squash, 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 squash. It's a little too fast, isn't it? There we go. Okay, and then there's also this flash effect. Now, you can see the flash effect speed is pretty fast, so we're going to do something like 10 so that you can see the flash a little bit more. Let's hit play. That feels great. Can't get you because that dog bone's in the way. Man, I feel like we're so close with those lightning particles, guys, but it's just no cigar. So let's do 0.4. 0.4. It shouldn't start so effing small. 15. Why does it start so small? Let's go to our max. I think I know what it is. Yeah, it starts at basically 0. There we go. I feel like it should be constant. Let's try that. We're close, guys. Kirby and the Forgotten Islands is a good reference. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Felipe, my 3D modeler, was telling me all about it. Okay, the size is good. Just feels wrong. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it, guys. It's really the lightning bolts that is the problem here. So we're gonna have the size increase. It's lasting a little too long, so 0.2. There we go. I feel like it should just appear, bah, 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 you know? I don't even think the size of a lifetime should change. And then it should just fade out. You know? Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Okay, that'll do, donkey. That'll do. Let's take a look. Okay, too big and too many. But other than that, we are good to go. Emission of 5 and just a little too big. So I think 10 to 16 is good. All right, we're close to moving forward. I just wanted to get this part done because I feel like these kind of things I'll avoid. So there's a glitch right there. Okay, that's stuff Gordon's gonna work on for me. That feels great. Uh-oh. Slamming causes a problem. Now we know. Let's try it one more time. Slamming causes a problem, my friends. Okay, that worked. That worked. Now I'm in slow-mo mode. I don't know why it didn't work that time. Okay, so pretty cool. I'm gonna have Gordon work on those issues. Gordon is my cleanup crew, basically. Gordon, are you in the chat, Gordon? You're usually here. Okay, so that feels pretty good. The next thing I want to do is make sure that particles emit, or collectibles emit from our breakable, okay? So I'm gonna spawn just 3 gems. I'm gonna type in gem. Or is it coin? Is it a coin? Yeah, it's a coin. So we're gonna spawn 3 coins. Or why not 8. Okay, let's see what happens when we try and spawn 8 coins on break. Okay, so the coins push it away. That's a problem. You can see here, if we kill him, don't want to touch that golden bone, but he gets pushed out of the way from those, right? And so what we need to do is we have a couple things here. If you can see here, we have this graphic, and it's set to ignore player, right? So the player can't interact with the dead corpse once it flies away. That's fine, but the coins can. The coins can. So what I want to do is go to my coin here and double check and see it's set to default, okay? So that's a problem because we can't say, hey, all default things ignore the body because, well, now the body will fall through the ground, right? So honestly, we probably need a layer called collectible, which we already have here. I'm going to change it to collectible, although I am curious here. Do we change the layer in this collectible script? Yeah, we do. So GameObject.layer equals 10. So what is it getting set to? It's getting set to ignore player. That's weird because if we go to project settings here, you could see that ignore player cannot interact with itself. So what's happening is, for some reason, despite the fact that the coins are set to ignore layer or ignore player, they're interacting with other things that have ignore player set. So I'm going to hit play, and then we're going to pause it and make sure that everything is set up properly. Okay. So let's hit pause. That's a great screenshot. I love that. Here, let's get a good one. That's so great. I'm sorry, guys. I need to get a screenshot here. This is good for social. There it is. I'm going to send that over to Discord really quick to my personal assistant, Mr. Hector. Alrighty. So let's double check something here. We've got these coins, right? The coins are currently set to ignore player, right? And this is set to ignore player. So I don't know why. It seemed like, maybe I was wrong. It seemed like it was pushing the monster's body. I don't think it is, actually. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're okay. All right. That was fun. So I don't think we have any problems with the coins emitting, actually. So I think we might be okay. Yeah. Sorry, you can't see my screen. So basically everything works is what I'm saying. Everything works just fine with the coins emitting, so I'm not worried about those at all. The next thing we want to do here is we want to go ahead and create a sort of explosion that occurs on death. So what I was going to do here is first just create some smoke, right? 2 different smokes. The first one is going to be this classic Wind Waker smoke, and if we hit play here, we can see it. The feet here, those are cool, but that's not really what we're looking for here. The feet smoke is cool is what I'm saying. So let's wait till he dies. Okay, here we go, here we go. Okay, hold on. I feel like this particle system that we did, just I don't want to forget. I feel like we could set it to be a lot more intense. Okay, that's it right there. I feel like we could set it to emission. Set the renderer to emit. Can we do that? You can. So if I set it to emit, especially the lightning, okay? I feel like if we set it to emit a light source, it'll be much brighter. Let's increase the intensity. There we go. All right. We could probably try a pinkish color maybe. Let's try that. I'm going to try that. Let's hit let's apply this. Yeah, we actually don't need to apply anything. I'm going to hit play one more time. I'm just looking at the Wind Waker one and it just feels much more alive. So it feels pretty good. Cool. All right, so that sounds great. Very good, guys. Very good. Thank you for joining us, by the way, Mr. Kojima, Josh, and Shiabash, and Igor, and David, Adiska, 10, Maklashni, Fuji, Jolly. All right, the next thing I want to do, my friends, is let's go ahead and take this enemy strike particles. I actually have a theory. The theory is we can... Here's the theory. The theory is if we go to the player here and we go to his jump... let me think. Let's go to his fart particles. Okay. We just went right into his booty. So if we start with a baseline here for our particles, we're going to set the gravity modifier to 0. And we're going to set the shape to be a sphere. Okay. And the speed we're going to set to something like 1 to 2. So this is going to be like that effect after the enemy dies. We're going to set the size from 2 to 5. That's good. And we don't want it to be that color. Okay. I think I want to do like a smoke color. So we're going to create a new particle. It's going to be a dark smoke particle. Okay. There we go. Let's drag that on over. There it is. Now we can just make it a dark black color. Something like that. See? We could even go a little bit bigger. 8. That means we can set the speed a little bit higher. Good. Okay. Now, we can create a sub-emitter, which is going to be... I don't really know. Let's double check here. I'm not so sure what it is. Let's take a look. Okay, so you have like these light rays that shoot out. Look, you got a ton of particles. We've even got these death particles here. So I'm going to take a screenshot of all of this. And we're going to see what kind of replication we can do. Take some inspiration from Legend of Zelda, right? So there we go. It looks like it's a mesh. But I'm not going to do a mesh. Here's what we're going to do. Do a little line here. And we're just going to fill it in with a gradient. Okay. Fade out the top here. There we go. Convert it to a smart object. Squash it down. And then we'll do a distort and just scale up in both directions. Okay. That's the theory. Let's double check and see if it works. File, save as. We're going to call this Hurt Particles Light Ray. And, you know, they just sort of stick around. It's really cool. Yeah, they stay put and they just fade out. That's really cool. I like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some of those in there. I'm not so sure how exactly you get them to disperse at a rotation like that, but I have a theory. And it also, there's a big glow as well, a big bright glow that's the center. So we want to double check here and see what we got. All right, so there's this is going to be called light rays. We're going to drag those in. So type in light ray, hurt particle, light ray, drag that in. It creates a material for us. We don't want the renderer to be a mesh. We want it to be a billboard. Stretch billboard. Ooh, we could even try that. Ooh. Well, well, well. Let us do a particle. It's okay, Georgie. It's okay, buddy. You're all right. No, sir. No. Fade. And then drag that new hurt particle in there. It didn't get saved over. There it is. There we go. All right. Rotate it. Save it. There we go. Ooh, boy, we're getting close. So if we go to our size of a lifetime, there's no size changing here. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. I don't know why it's moving. Start speed. Is that it? Whoa. So you need a speed, apparently, if you want the stretch billboard effect. How crazy. 0.1 by 0.1. We could try that. 0.1 by 0.1. There we go. We could even set them to emit. Emission, turn it up. Do pink. There we go. And just crank up the intensity. I can't see any of the effects of the camera though. There we go. Awesome. Obviously way too big. So we'll go to the stretch that we, remember this stretch, this length scale, we can squash it down. Cool. Sweet. It feels pretty cool. Maybe crank down the size a little bit. So 1 by 2. 1 by 3. And then stretch it up now. I think we could go a little bit bigger. 3 by 4. That's pretty cool. All right, and we'll do a random color start. So that. And then also we could probably even do a little bit of random purple. No, you can't because of the shader. There we go, guys. All right, and now we have it just fade out. So all you do is color over lifetime. There we go, look. And hey, why not do some random between two gradients? So this one's a little bit faster or slower. There we go. There we go. So that's its death particles. I think we could probably go a little bit thicker. All right. So 4 by 8, and then squash down the length. Awesome. Increase the alpha a little bit. That looks great. So what I want to do, is, this is going to be enemy death particle. What I want to do is just test it out as it is. Okay, so I'm going to drag it in there. I'm going to delete both of these from the scene. And now what we can do is just drag it in here. So we have this break particle. That's actually not the one we're going to use. Okay, that's associated with objects that immediately break. There's actually a different thing that's happening with our enemies, whereas they actually launch their body. Okay, And so we need to go into that body script, which it's called enemy corpse, and do it there. Okay. So there's death particles, see? So all we got to do is drag in those new death particles for our corpse. Okay. So let's go to our corpse, which is right here. This is our corpse. It's called graphic. And we have this corpse script here. All we got to do is just drag in those new particles. So this is enemy death particle. There it is. Just drag that in there. Yes, I did make a game called Once Upon a Coma. It's now called Never Song. All right, guys, let's hit play here and take a look and see what this very simple death sequence looks like. Nice. All right, so it's currently set to loop, which is totally fine because that's going to be an easy fix. And to be honest, you know, that instantiation of the gems, it should occur on the body, right? It shouldn't occur on the creation of the corpse, is what I'm saying, okay? So what that means is we probably need to remove that instantiation script and put it in a separate script and then call it from a separate script, which is unfortunate. But we'll need to do that. Oh, gosh. So what are we doing? Oh, enemy death particles. We're going to set these to not loop. Okay? So that is what we're going to do. We don't want it to loop. We just want it to happen once. All right, give me just a sec, guys. Let my dogs out. All right, so it happens once, boom, just like that. Now, the problem is we don't have a great sound for the death. Let's listen to it. It's actually pretty great. I kind of like that. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so that explosion, that should be spawning the coins. Yeah. So I should have to follow it to collect all those coins. All right, so what we're going to do with that is we need to go to the breakable script, okay? And we have this spawn objects script, see? So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this and then we're going to delete it. And we're going to get an error because we're not able to fire that function anymore because it doesn't exist. We're going to create a new script and it's going to be called spawner. I believe we don't have a spawner script already, so we can just paste it in here. And now we just need to add in that spawn objects, okay, which is right here. There we go. Spawn objects. So now we can just spawn objects from this script. We need to make sure, however, that we have a reference to this script, okay? So what we would do is go to serialized field. We'd call this spawner, spawn objects. And now, right here, spawn objects dot spawn objects dot length. Actually, spawner dot spawn objects dot length. So let's double check here. Yep, we need to call this spawner. There we go. So now you can see here we don't have access to it, so we just need to go to the function here and set it to public. So now all we got to do is spawn the objects associated with the spawner. So that also means that if we go to the breakable script here, hold on, should be set to public. Let's see here. Why are we not getting a... Ah! No. No. There it is. This needs to be public. All right. So basically what we're doing is we're saying if the spawner exists, and also we need to actually put this here. Basically we'll say if spawn objects dot length does not equal 0, or is greater than 0, then go ahead and do all this stuff. There we go. All right. That's great. So now all we got to say is if spawner exists, then spawner dot spawn objects. Okay, so that's happening in the break script. So things for like boxes, that's how it's going to be handled with boxes. Okay, but with the enemy corpse, all we got to do is do it right here. See, if spawner exists, then spawn objects. So now we just got to add a spawner. That's about all we got to do here. That's it. Oh man, that was easy. Okay, so let's go over to our go to Beetle here, and I can add that spawner script now, okay, and determine how many objects spawn on the death of this object. So I'm just going to do one for now. I'll call it coin. There it is. And now if we set it to 6, all of those will be coins. So he's going to spawn coins. Now it's okay that spawner is set to null here because we're not going to use it. All right. So there's that. But we also need to go to our boxes here and ensure that those are set up properly. Now that we have a new script called spawner, if we set it to 1 and then coin, we need to make sure the spawner script is being used in the crate as well, because the crate doesn't have a corpse, and we just removed all that spawn script. So we need to add it back, basically, with this new method. All right, we'll set it to 4 or 6. How's that? Okay. But we need to make sure we reference it. So drag the spawner here. There we go. There's also no flash effect script on here. So let's add a flash effect as well. And I know that that's not going to work, so I'm going to remove that. Okay, let's take a look and see if this works. So let's double check this. It works. Very good. Now let's double check the bug. Remember, we have to wait for the corpse to turn black and then explode, and then the coins come out. That's the goal here. Okay, it didn't happen. I think I needed to reference it. So let's make sure we do that. Yes. Yep, just drag it in there and reference it. There we go. All right, let's take a look. No, this is not a pre-recorded video, Blender. Let's take a look. Yeah, that is fun. I love that. But you have to like make sure they don't fall off. That's great. Cool. Very fun. Honestly, I really like it. It's these little details, guys, that make everything worth it. Make your game fun. Oh no, my coins! So having him explode that far is probably a problem. Probably a problem. But anyway, guys, that was what we wanted to work on today. That was really, really fun. Thanks for joining me. If you guys haven't checked out that free 2D game kit below, be sure to check it out. And also my free 3D course if you're not interested in 2D. It's called Easy 3D. It's on how you can make a 3D game, with no knowledge of code, no knowledge of modeling. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Cheers. Get over here. Get down. Hey. Thanks for watching. By the way, if you haven't downloaded that free 2D game kit below, click below. It's my treat to you. I used this game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and I actually got to play it with him in front of his audience, which was really cool. This game kit is totally free. It's my treat to you, and you can use it however you want. You can make a commercial game and make $1 million off this game kit. I don't care. Or you could just use it for a hobby project. It's my treat to you. And by the way, if you haven't clicked like, that would mean a ton to me. Hit subscribe. And also, this is important, hit that notification bell. Here's why. If you get notified of when I'm live, you can watch me make my next game, and let me know in the chat what you think about the game or any ideas you have, and you might just show up. Your chat might just show up in the next video that I upload. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.